Hello everybody, welcome back to Sundayberries. Today I am very excited because I am going to revisit MeiLiang Watercolors. The second set that I ever swatched when I opened the channel was from MeiLiang. It was a smaller set, and recently, actually during Christmas, I saw this set of 52 colors come up, and it was quite interesting because it had a lot more colors than the one I swatched, and I wanted to check out the other colors because I was very impressed with Mei Liang. And to my surprise, this set comes with a pigment liner, 0.5 tip, a pencil, a brush, and a little sponge to dry your brush on. It also includes all the information to the watercolors included in this set, and I was very happily surprised that every color has the pigment information, everything that you need to know about this color. So I'm very happy about that. The set also comes with a little swatch card, which I will not be doing today. And it also comes with a little pad of watercolor paper, which I am not going to use today either. But we will be swatching all these colors, and I'll tell you why. This is a beginner-friendly set, also very affordable, but it is highly pigmented from my previous experience with Mei Liang. And for the price, if you're starting, if you are a hobbyist, or if you love crafting, this set is quite large, and the pigments are very highly pigmented. As I said, they don't feel chalky, nothing like that. And that was my experience from the first swatch. Now we will see about this set. As you can see, it has a little plastic cover. I haven't opened it yet, so we will be doing that and we will be swatching. But for now, we're going to go ahead and start, and I am looking forward to seeing these colors. With that said, let's go ahead and start swatching. As usual, I will be doing a mass tone and a diluted version. The first one is champagne yellow, and this one is quite beautiful actually. It's a very pastel looking color. It does not feel chalky. This is made out of PY35, PO20, and PW6, which is a white. I am adding a second coat because I think the other one was quite light. And now we can see it as a full mass tone. Diluted. Maybe too much water? It's still quite beautiful and delicate looking. And we'll see how that dries. The next one up is pale orange. This one too seems like a pastel color. Pigments are PR108 and PY35 and PW6. So this one too has white. I'm not going to add water to this one just to make sure that we get an accurate rendition to this diluted version. It feels quite beautiful. It doesn't feel chalky so far. This next one is apricot and also a pastel color. Pigments are PR108, PY35, and PW6. Again, the addition of white make them look pastel. It's quite lovely. And diluted version. Very nice. I think this one, even for those of you who love portraiture, this one for skin tones can work. This one as well. And this one, although you can find very good pigments for skin tones without the addition of white. However, for those of you who love playing with tones and with not your usual colors for skin tones, this little set right here can be really useful. And here we have New Gamboge. This is PY74, and again, beautiful and bright and very pigmented. And this is what surprised me a lot from this brand. It's how pigmented the colors are. And here we have it as a diluted version. Diluted version. Very subtle as a diluted version. Permanent Yellow Deep, and this one is PY83. Beautiful. Very, very bright and vivid. And diluted version. As you can see, it's quite, oops. As you can see, this is a color that can be used perfectly with mixes. It can be quite useful, and even as a standalone color. And the diluted version, it's quite perfect actually. This is Natural Yellow, PY42. Beautiful. And diluted version. Maybe I diluted this one too much. This is more like it. The next one up is orange, and wow, this is very pigmented. PY3 and PO13. Beautiful. Very bright, very warm. You can almost see that yellow pigment in there. And if I am not mistaken, the natural yellow is granulating quite beautifully too. Diluted version, beautiful. Beautiful. The difference between the two is quite stunning. I do want to take a look at this one closer because I love the granulation it does have. Permanent Orange, PO62. Beautiful as well. Very similar to the orange, but I think if my eyes are not betraying me, this color is granulating. Oh my God. I will add water to this one here just to make sure that if there is granulation, we can see it. Lemon yellow is the next one, and this one is a mix of two pigments because they've added white to this one, and it is PY43 and PW5. It does look like lemon yellow, but it's leaning into that pastel area because of the white. Diluted version. This one, because of that yellow in there, makes a difference. This one is more orange and this one is more a yellow orange. Yellow green, PY3 and PG7. So definitely a yellow green. You can see the yellow right underneath the green pigment. Beautiful. Diluted. You can see it's almost a very yellow green. This one is lime green, PG36 and PY3. Another yellow green or green yellow color. They are so bright. So it really amazes me the fact that these colors are so highly pigmented and the price they have is quite affordable. And diluted version, beautiful as well. Loving the diluted version. This one is olive green, and wow, this one really does look like it's granulating. Oof, beautiful. It does have 3 pigments in it, and the pigments are PB15, PY83, and PK9. And wow, this color has taken my breath away. Very, very, very surprised at this color. Beautiful mix. And diluted version. Wow. My God. Maybe too much water. Wow. Look at this granulation. I'm adding just a little bit more because that is impressive. And how it spreads as well. Quite nice. Oh, visually impressed with this one. Very beautiful, very earthy. Let's see how it dries. This one is called Grass Green, and as you can see, this one I think it's from that macaroon line, and the pigments are PG7, PY43, and PW6. Of course, PW6 being that white, distinctive white that will give this aspect to watercolors, not only make them opaque and pastel looking. I must say I am not a fan of this one. No. I do like this ones here, but this green is not really for me. Permanent green, very vibrant and bright. Pigments are PY3 and PG7. And actually, this almost looks like a neon color. This permanent green can be really useful for mixes. And diluted. And as a diluted version, it almost feels as a pastel without having that white. Viridian is next, and this is PG7. You can't really see that one on the permanent green, although it does have Viridian in it, or PG7. Viridian as a diluted version. I really like Viridian. For mixes, this is quite helpful, and it's not such a bad color either as a diluted version. I don't know why. Obviously, this one looks like it's granulating. Again, I'm a little bit afraid of saying that it is, but I can see granulation on both. So I would rather wait. And here I can see a little bit of granulation, and that would be because this one also has PG7. We'll wait and see what happens. The next one is a phthalo green blue. I think this one is a phthalo green blue shade. PB17 and PG7. And again, we can see somewhat that Viridian coming through, and also the granulation that is coming through. Quite interesting. Beautiful diluted version. Hooker's Green Dark and Hooker's Green. I have a long history with Hooker's Green. I used to love this green so much. I still do. And the pigment is PG7 and PY110. And again, this one is granulating. Beautiful. And they are quite similar because they all share that PG7 in common. and that also makes them harmonious. Cobalt teal is the next one, and this is a mix of four pigments actually. It does have white in it. Pigments are PB17, PG36, PG7, and PW6. But it really does look like a really nice color, and it's also granulating, quite nice, and diluted version. Beautiful. Again, very bright and lovely. I think that PW6 wasn't needed. This one is deep turquoise, and it has PB15 and PY3. So beautiful turquoise. Loving this blue. It's a good mix. And it does look like a granulating color again, and quite strongly too. Diluted version. Oh yes, the granulation is quite strong. Beautiful. I am really wanting to see this granulation because it's granulating heavily. This is marine blue, and whoa, PB15 column 3 and PG7. Beautiful. Again, very bright. But what a beautiful color right here. Beautiful. But check out this granulating color. Impressive. Beautiful. It's very, very strong. It's the strongest granulation so far. Diluted version. Okay, so I am very impressed with the marine blue. It's very different from other watercolors that I've seen, and I am very deeply impressed by deep turquoise. So far, my favorite, along with the olive green. So I will be looking at this one more, and I do see myself using this color. I really do. It's beautiful, and the granulation, it's a standout. The marine blue is also gorgeous. Very strong, very vivid, but this one is more muted, and it does attract me more. So far, we are seeing different levels of granulation in these colors, and on the first swatch that I ever did with Mei Liang, they were completely different. No granulation or anything like it. These are apparently, perhaps they have changed the formula, because even before the pigment information wasn't there, and now that the pigment information is here, we know that we're working with really nice pigments. I don't know what else they add besides gum arabic to make it so accessible. However, they are quite impressive so far. This next one is cornflower blue, and again, this one has white in it, It's PV23, PV29, and PW6. So this one has a little bit of ultramarine into it, and it will granulate, and you can already see it. We don't know what kind of granulation it will be, if it's going to be strong or not, but it will be granulating. This, I think, also belonged to those pastel colors. It reminds me of a periwinkle. The next one is sky blue, and again this one has a white included. The pigments are PB17 and PW5, and it's quite beautiful, I must say. Very bright, brilliant, vivid. These are, some of them are more muted colors, but most of them are quite brilliant and vivid. And diluted version. And although it has white in it, it doesn't feel so much as a pastel, and that's surprising. Although in the diluted version it does look a little bit pastel. Again, those of you who love pastels, this set has so far beautiful pastel colors in it. Manganese blue, Nova. Beautiful. The pigment is PB15. Beautiful manganese blue. Very strong. And the diluted version is quite beautiful as well. It's also granulating, just to make sure that that's mentioned. The cornflower has a beautiful, soft, well, I would say medium granulation, but it's quite beautiful. And this one as well. And this one seems to be quite strong. Cobalt blue, PB29, and PW5. So they have included white in this color. So I suppose we can say they are quite unusual mixes, but the result so far looks great. Of course, PB29 is ultramarine blue, so it will granulate for certain. Diluted version. Beautiful. Now we are on ultramarine blue, which is PB29, as I was mentioning prior to getting here. I am looking forward to the granulation on this color. I do have a super squeaky chair. Just in case you hear that squeakiness, I need to change this chair. I really do. The diluted version is quite nice. And the granulation here, it's quite beautiful. We'll see over here. And you can see the granulation here coming on as well. Prussian blue, PB27. Beautiful. I love Prussian blue. I really do. And again, these are colors that are suitable for beginners, intermediate, even professional artists. They are really good. And again, this brand amazes me a lot because of the pricing they have going on. It's very, very affordable, and the quantity of colors that you get, it's quite nice. And it's quite a complete set of colors. This is the diluted version. Beautiful. Ah, yes, beautiful. So again, these are colors that are perfect if you're starting out and you don't have the budget for professional watercolors. These colors are quite affordable and quite good. And with the granulation you're getting now, forget it, these are amazing. Indigo is our next color, and wow, it is absolutely beautiful, a beautiful indigo. Perhaps not as dark as others, but quite beautiful indeed. PBK7 is the pigment along with PB29. So this one is mixed with an ultramarine and it is granulating. Beautiful, beautiful indigo. Usually indigos tend to be darker than this blue, but I don't mind this one. Actually, it's quite a beautiful blue. And diluted version, of course, it's going to be a little bit similar, just a tiny bit darker than the ultramarine because it does have ultramarine as a pigment. But that also gives it the ability to granulate. And I am loving it. Just adding a little bit more to this mix to see that granulation coming on. This one is Payne's Gray, and again, quite beautiful. They did it with PB29, which is that ultramarine, and PBK7. So they have the same mix as in the indigo, except in different quantities. So that is why there is a difference between them, but they are the same colors, like the same pigments. And of course, this is a Payne's Gray that will granulate because of the PB29. So I see that they use a lot of similar pigments to get to a particular color. I have seen many Payne's Gray that have more pigments than this one, and this one is quite an acceptable Payne's Gray in my opinion. Of course, you can get a darker Payne's Gray, but this one is a Payne's Gray that not only granulates, but it's also that blue-gray tone. Now, of course, the only thing that I would be a little bit concerned about will be mixing with these colors because they have so many pigments in them, in some of them, because quite a few that are single pigmented. But then again, they have quite a few that have a lot of white in them. So this next one is Carmine Rose. And again, this, as you can see, is very a pastel color. And of course, it does have white. It is PV 23 and PW6. And PV 23 is a violet pigment, quite opaque. And diluted version Rose pink is the next one, and immediately you can see that this one as well is a pastel color with white in it. The pigments are PR207, PR112, and PW6. And this one is quite a beautiful pastel rose, and I think when we get to that diluted version we could possibly get quite a beautiful dusty rose. Let's see. Actually, it's not a dusty rose, it's quite a nice beautiful pink. If I wanted a dusty rose, I would definitely mix with buff titanium. So here we have the first 30 colors from the swatch of Mei Liang Watercolors. We still have another 20 colors to go, and I am really excited to do that. And that video is going to come out tomorrow, so be on the lookout for it. So far, I am blown away. Particularly with the deep turquoise, which is so granulating and so impressive. It is stunning. And also with the olive green, they speak for themselves. These colors have granulations in different degrees. It's beautiful, and then you get beautiful pastels. So if you're a fan of pastels, these colors will really blow your mind away because they are quite beautiful. So again, this is the first part of a two-part video. Tomorrow we will be taking a look at another 20 colors, the final 20 of this Mei Liang set. And with that said, my friends, I will see you tomorrow for the second part of this video. I hope you have enjoyed it. So until then, please take care of yourselves. Please stay safe. Be kind to one another. And I will see you tomorrow. Until then, bye.